Every single day, you face a choice. The clock starts ticking the moment you wake up, and the question is simple. Will you use the time you've been given, or will you let it slip through your fingers? There are people out there who get things done no matter what. No matter how busy their schedule, how tired they are, or how many distractions are pulling at them. They show up, they find a way, and then there are others who don't. They find reasons not to act. They say they'll do it later. They complain. They wait. This isn't just a small difference in personality. It's the line that separates those who build a life of meaning and those who end up filled with regret. The truth is hard, but clear. Winners make time. Losers make excuses. Time doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care about your background, your struggles, or your plans. Time is the same for everyone. 24 hours. That's all you get in a day. It's what you do with those hours that decides who you become. Winners understand this deeply. They don't sit around waiting for the perfect conditions. They don't blame a busy schedule or say they're too tired. They make time for what's important. They commit. They plan. They move. Even when it's tough, even when they don't feel like it. Losers, on the other hand, live in a loop of delay. I'll do it tomorrow. I just need a little more time. Now's not a good moment. These phrases feel safe. They sound reasonable. But they're lies. Lies we tell ourselves to feel okay about not trying. These are the words of those who stay stuck. And here's the reality. Every excuse you make is time you will never get back. Taking full control of your time is the first step toward taking back your life. Every time you say, "It's not my fault," you give your power away. Winners don't do that. They take ownership. They look in the mirror and say, "If something isn't working, I'm going to change it." They don't blame the weather, the traffic, or their past. They take charge of their present. Because when you stop blaming and start acting, something powerful happens. You take back your control. You stop being a victim, and you become the one steering the ship. Every single decision, every single hour, becomes a tool to shape your future. Winners see this responsibility not as a burden, but as a gift. They know that if they don't protect their time, someone else will waste it for them. Time is more precious than money. You can always earn more cash, but you can never get back lost time. That's why winners guard their time like it's treasure. They spend it wisely. They avoid distractions. They say no to things that don't help them grow. But losers, they spend hours scrolling on their phones. They get lost in endless shows. They pass the time instead of using it. Imagine your time like a bank account. Every day, you're given 86,400 seconds. You can't carry them over to tomorrow. You either use them or lose them. So how are you spending those seconds? Are you investing in your goals, in your growth, in your dreams? Or are you throwing them away on things that don't really matter? Winners understand how powerful even a single minute can be. They know that great things come from small, steady effort. Every second adds up. That's why they use every second well. They show up. They build momentum. They don't wait for a better day. Because here's something important. Someday is the most dangerous word in the English language. Someday I'll start working out. Someday I'll launch that business. Someday I'll go back to school. But someday isn't real. It's a trap, a soft, comfortable lie that keeps you from ever starting. Winners don't live in someday. They live in today. They take action now. They start small if they have to. They understand that waiting is just another form of giving up. There's no such thing as the perfect time. There will always be something in the way, some challenge, some doubt, some fear. But winners act anyway. They don't sit around waiting to feel ready. They don't wait for motivation to strike like lightning. They create their own momentum. They take that first step, no matter how hard, no matter how uncomfortable. Excuses are easy. They feel good in the moment. They protect you from pain and failure. But in the long run, they hold you back. They keep you from becoming the person you could be. Winners know this. That's why they don't let excuses run their lives. They look for solutions instead. Too tired? Go to bed earlier. No time? Cut out the stuff that doesn't matter. Not skilled enough? Start learning today. There's always a way forward, but only if you're willing to look for it, and only if you're willing to put in the work. Growth doesn't come from staying comfortable. It comes from pushing yourself, from showing up even when it's hard, from doing the things you don't want to do, because you know your future is worth it. Winners choose that path. They'd rather face the pain of discipline now than suffer the pain of regret later. Losers stay in their comfort zone. They choose short-term ease over long-term growth. They settle. They shrink. They give up too soon. But winners, they choose discipline. Because discipline is what keeps you going when your motivation fades. And it always fades. Motivation is temporary. It's a spark, not a fire. Discipline is what keeps the fire burning. Discipline is getting up early to work on your goals. Discipline is saying no to distractions. Discipline is a habit of action, day after day, rain or shine. And that habit is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. Because every dream comes with a price, and winners are willing to pay it. They give up comfort for progress. They trade short-term pleasure for long-term reward. They make sacrifices. They put in the hours. They say no to the things that don't help, and yes to the things that move them forward. They understand that you can't have everything. You can't scroll for hours and build a business. You can't stay up late partying and crush your goals. Every decision is a trade-off. Every choice is either taking you closer to your dream or pulling you further away. And while big dreams can feel overwhelming at times, winners don't let that paralyze them. They don't wait for the perfect plan to fall into place. They don't get stuck in endless planning, overthinking every step before they begin. Winners take action. They start where they are with what they have, and they move forward one step at a time. Because progress doesn't come from perfect plans. It comes from doing, from building momentum, from learning and adjusting as you go. Winners don't wait until they know everything. They start and they figure out along the way. Losers, though, they wait. They wait for stars to align, for the perfect mood, for every doubt to disappear. But that moment never comes. And so they stay in the same place, planning, hoping, and watching life pass them by. Life isn't easy. That's a fact. There will always be obstacles. There will always be moments when things fall apart. But here's where winners separate themselves again. They don't let hard times break them. They see challenges as part of the process, not as reasons to quit. They understand that setbacks are not failures. They are lessons. And when they fall, they don't stay down. They get back up every time, stronger than before. Resilience is the muscle they train. It's what keeps them moving when everything seems against them. It's what makes them relentless. While others give up at the first sign of struggle, winners keep going. Failure doesn't scare them because they know it's part of the journey. It's not the end, it's a stepping stone, a teacher, a test of how badly they want it. Every success story you've ever heard is filled with failure, missed opportunities, closed doors, pain, but also persistence. Winners use their pain as fuel. They let it drive them, inspire them, shape them into someone even more determined. And in doing so, they write a different kind of story for themselves. A story of grit, of courage, of growth. Because your life is a story. Every single day, you write a new page. Every action you take, every choice you make, it all adds to your story. And one day, that story will be what you leave behind. The question is, what kind of story will it be? Will it be a story full of excuses and what-ifs? A story of potential left unused? Of dreams left behind because fear or laziness got in the way? Or will it be a story of strength? A story of someone who decided to fight for their goals, who refused to give up, who made the most of every minute. Winners write powerful stories. Stories that inspire others. Stories that prove what's possible when you take full responsibility for your life. They don't leave it up to luck. They don't wait for help to come. They decide. They act. And that decision, to be the author of your own life, changes everything. Because when you stop reacting and start creating, your life transforms. You stop letting the world push you around, and you start pushing back. You stop waiting, and you start building. Winners make bold choices. They make time for growth, for action, for purpose. They understand that time is their most valuable asset, and they use it wisely. Meanwhile, losers let life happen to them. They drift. They float. They let days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, without ever truly moving forward. And when they look back, they wonder where all the time went. But by then, it's too late. That's why the choice you make today matters so much. You can choose to be the person who makes time for your goals, your health, your future. Or you can choose to be the one who makes excuses, who always has a reason, who always has a story about why they can't, why it's hard, why it's not their fault. But the truth is, there will always be a reason not to start. Always something trying to get in your way. That will never change. What can change is how you respond. Winners don't let outside things decide for them. They take control. They stay focused. They build habits that keep them moving, especially when it's hard. Discipline is a quiet strength behind their success. It's what keeps them going when their energy runs low, when their motivation fades, when nobody's watching. Discipline is setting the alarm early and not hitting snooze. Discipline is working on your craft after a long day when all you want to do is relax. Discipline is doing what you said you'd do, even when it's not fun. And the more you practice discipline, the stronger it gets. Like a muscle, like a skill, it becomes part of who you are. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you going. That's the difference between dreams that stay dreams and dreams that become real. Winners don't just wish for a better life. They work for it. And that work starts now, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, it starts with how you spend your morning. It starts with the things you say no to. It starts with that small choice to act, even when it's easy to do nothing. Because in the end, greatness isn't built in huge moments. It's built in the small, consistent choices you make every day. The world is full of noise, distractions, excuses, temptations. It's easy to lose focus, easy to forget what you're chasing. But the ones who win, the ones who rise above all that noise, are the ones who remember why they started in the first place. They keep that reason close. They remind themselves every day that their time is limited and their dream is worth the fight. And so they push through. They keep moving. They take one more step. And in doing that, they take one more step. And then another, until those small steps become miles. Until those tiny wins become massive victories. Until the life they once only dreamed becomes the life they are now living. That's what happens when you stop making excuses and start making time. Winners don't wait for the world to hand them success. They build it. They shape it with every choice, every habit, every moment of effort. They know success doesn't come from being lucky or special. It comes from being consistent. They understand that each hour spent working toward their goals is a brick in the foundation of their future. Every sacrifice is an investment. Every moment of self-control is a step closer. They make time when it seems like there's none. They find energy when they feel exhausted. They stay focused when the world pulls in every direction. And even when nobody is watching, even when it would be so easy to quit, they keep going. Why? Because winners have a reason, a purpose, a vision so clear, they can already see it before it exists. That's what drives them. That's what gets them out of bed when it's still dark. That's what pulls them forward when nothing else does. On the other hand, losers never truly commit. They dip their toes in. They talk a lot, but act a little. They want the rewards, but not the responsibility. They want results, but not the routine. And when things get hard, and they will get hard, they fall back on the same old stories. I don't have time. I'm not ready. I'll try again next year. But here's the truth. Time doesn't wait. Life doesn't pause. And every excuse, no matter how convincing it sounds, is just another way to let your dreams die quietly. The people you admire, the ones who seem unstoppable, they're not better than you. They just stopped letting excuses lead their lives. They chose effort over comfort, action over delay, discipline over distraction. And you can do the same. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. Start showing up. Start doing the work. Start making time for what matters most. Because every excuse you let go of gives you more power. Every small action you take builds belief. And belief is everything. When you believe in yourself enough to keep going, Even when it's tough, that's when things begin to change. Winners aren't born. They are built moment by moment, choice by choice. So ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to become? Do you want to be remembered as someone who always found a way? Someone who pushed through, made things happen, inspired others to action? Or will you be remembered as someone who almost made it? Someone who talked big but never moved? Someone who let the days pass, always waiting for someday? Because someday isn't coming. It never was. There is only today. And today is your chance to choose. To stop the cycle of excuses. To take control of your time. To write a new chapter in your story. One where you rise. One where you fight. One where you build something real. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And when you look back, months from now, years from now, you'll see how much you've grown, how far you've come. You'll be proud you started, proud you kept going, proud you didn't let excuses win. Because in the end, the difference between those who live with purpose and those who live with regret isn't luck or timing or talent. It's choice. Winners make time. Losers make excuses. So make your choice. Make your time count. Be the one who shows up. Be the one who takes action. Be the one who leaves behind a legacy, not of words, but of work, not of dreams, but of results. Your future is waiting. Go get it.